Good day, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Oliver, hello. Yeah, I had a little bit of a hiccup there. Restream, as soon as I hit go live, Restream logged me out and was like, sign back in. I've never had that happen before, so Restream, thank you. I had to make sure to stop and cancel and get rid of stuff. So, Oliver, thank you for hanging out. Today, well, we'll take care of introductions in a moment, but today we're going to be doing some photo editing of not very good photos. And we'll talk more about it, but let's go ahead, get some introductions going. How are you doing today, Oliver? Hopefully it's not too hot where you're at. Where I'm at, it's freaking hot. It is freaking hot. 38 degrees Celsius. Oh, so we'll see. Okay. Hello, everybody. Oh, 23 degrees Celsius here at the moment. Much better than 30 degrees yesterday. Yes, 23 sounds wonderful. I don't think we're supposed to get down to about 23 until maybe this weekend. So, for those of you that don't know, that's just hot. Hello, everybody. My name is Shawn. I'm a photographer. I'm based in Germany. Wherever you're watching this, you are going to see a Linktree link in the description. And it's linktree/Kozel. And you can find me every place I am on the interwebs. And if you would like to share your work with me, you can join my Discord from here. Also, if you are watching this on Twitch or YouTube, make sure to subscribe, follow, like, all those great things. If you do have a Behance page, you can also subscribe to me there and get a cool wallpaper if you buy me a cup of joe. So, oh, got a piece of ice. How did that get through there? A little hole. Sorry about that. Jumping over to the Discord, we don't have anything to look at. We do have the channels for you for chat, your photos to edit. So like last stream, editing your photos. We have stream chat, community artwork, and project feedback. So if you want to share your work, you would share it in the community artwork or project feedback, one of those. And I think that is enough about me. So I'm going to be doing a little bit different workflow today. This normally isn't my workflow, but I think I'm going to actually have to give this a shot. We're going to be working in Photoshop all day, not Lightroom, Lightroom Classic. We're going to be working in Photoshop. So let's get that open. And as always, if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. I have a series of photos. Hey, Sandrine. Hola, hola. Not Lightroom Classic, I'm out. What? You use Photoshop. I am going to be using Camera Raw quite a bit. But as you can see by the title up here, I have already used the Photoshop beta, the public beta, to upscale all of these images because they were initially sent to me very low res. Oliver says Lightroom Classic 14.5 is out. The bug I reported with the modifying Canon RAW file has apparently been fixed. Cool. That's always nice when you report a bug and they listen. That's good. So what we have going on here is This is a personal project that I am doing for my family. And hi, Umacorn. And this gentleman right here in the middle fought in World War II and has recently passed away. And so my parents, I don't know if they took these or what, but this guy looks really familiar right there. I don't know who took these, but my family sent these to me and asked if I can clean them up a bit. So, to be honest, I don't know what the best way to sharpen some of these up are going to be, but we're going to give it a go. So, that is the plan of attack. So some of these definitely now. Okay, let me back up. The first person who saw my bug report was JRE. JRE always listens. Gotcha. I don't know who JRE is. So to begin with, these were very, very small files when they were sent to me. So I was quite happy with the results from the new. Oh, John Ellis. Gotcha. Thank you, Oliver. I was quite happy with the results that we got from the Photoshop beta upscale. So happy with that. So well, here we go. Boom. That's what we've got going on here. All right, let's talk about this a little bit. So that is the original, and that is with the new upscale, the AI upscale. So did an okay job. Let's go ahead, let's turn that into a smart object. And let's jump into camera raw. So let's go filter, camera raw filter. Already spam? Thank you, Oliver. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. I see ads are going to start shortly, but I'm going to just continue working since we're here. All right. This was a nasty, rainy day. I feel like the AI really adds too much contrast on the upscaling. They have solo mode. Normal, nope. Single mode. There we go. Single mode. All right. So how's everybody's day going so far? Still feel we got too much contrast. Umacorn says, ugh. Ads must have started. Oliver says, meh. Barely slept, too hot. I did not sleep well either. I did not. 31 degrees here now. It's going to be a hot one, Umacorn. Definitely a hot one. I'm going to take a little bit of clarity. These are JPEGs, so need to actually be quite easy with them. You don't want to try to push anything too far, or you're going to end up getting some funky stuff happening. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's hit C for the crop tool. And bring this in. Okay, like that. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit of sharpening going on here. That's the main thing that I'm kind of going for. Okay. Let's go into filter, sharpen. Do you, and this is for Sandrine, Oliver, and Umacorn, do you all have a favorite sharpening tool? There's a couple different ways that we could do this. And let's try them all. So first off, let's right click, and I'm going to do a new smart object via copy. Let's right click that. We are going to raster that layer. I only really use sharpening in Lightroom Classic. Well, okay, before we do that, let's get back into Camera Raw. See how that looks. Let's double click into our smart filter, reopen Camera Raw, and we can go ahead and sharpen that up quite a bit. And holding down the Option key, let's zoom in. Sandrine says Smart Sharpen if I'm in Photoshop, but to be honest, I would do it in Adobe Camera Raw or Lightroom, so I can use the masking slider. I get that. I get that. We're going to try some different things. We're starting to get some JPEG artifacts. Zoomed out, not bad. All right, you can hit OK. So we've got our sharpening done in Adobe Camera Raw. Now we're going to talk about a couple different things, and let's zoom in really quick so you can see what we've got going on. That is before the sharpening. That's after the sharpening. So we are getting some JPEG artifacts going. But we're going to try a different route. Command 0. We are going to take this layer that I duplicated. We're going to go to Filter, Other, and High Pass Filter. And now take this down to about 1.5, hitting OK. Then going back and switching this to Overlay. Let's zoom back in. And yeah, I mean, we're starting to get lines. Meh. Meh. Okay. Go ahead, delete that. I mean, we're specifically a line film, not sure the oh, when we used to sharpen films, that was the exact method we would use. Create an over sharpened negative, sandwich it with the normal negative, and mask unwanted area. And specifically a line film, not sure the translation was accurate. Well, it's still interesting. It's like a threshold filter on negative, accentuates the borders. I would say we've gone pretty good here. It's not bad. Umicorn says, I've seen that done with the threshold. I don't know how to do it with the threshold filter. If you want to show me. Okay, is this... Hold on. Let me check something here. If you want to give me directions on how to use the threshold filter, Umicorn, I can take a look at it. Okay, those RPSDs. That's why there's layers. I've done sharpening with threshold, but I don't remember the process. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to do a command save. And we've got this one. Let's take care of both of these first. Stay consistent. I've done sharpening with threshold, but I don't remember the process. Oh, Oliver said that. Okay. I thought that, yeah. Let me think here. I haven't used Photoshop much, can't remember. Not a problem. Let's turn that into a smart object. Let's take this back into, well, before we get going, before we jump into Camera Raw, we can try some other sharpening just before, which this is the wrong thing to do. So yeah, let's not do that. Let's jump into Camera Raw. And Camera Raw may be the way to go here. You know, it's possible. One moment, please. Okay, sorry about that. Very strange. Very strange. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Let's bring that contrast down. I don't mind the color. Looks like we're clipping someplace in the blacks. And I don't see it. So bring up the blacks. We are peaking there. Bring down the highlights. Okay, I'm good with that. I don't want to do any color mixing here, any color grading. Let's jump into our details. And now let's zoom in. Let's take a little bit of noise out. And let's start getting some sharpening. I don't know why that is clipping. Interesting. Okay, we're going to keep going. Yeah. We're going to take the radius up just a little bit. Get our masking in quite a bit. Okay. So with that, we are going to go ahead and add, we're going to play with some other sharpening tools here. So if we go down to sharpen, we have all of these sharpening tools. We have sharpen, sharpen edges, sharpen more, the smart sharpen, and unsharp mask. A lot of the times, like unsharp mask works very well. So we can come in here, kind of look and do a before and after. Making sure to zoom in to see what we've got going on. We can hit OK. Open up our smart filter. And you can toggle these off and on to get a feel of what you're doing I'm not seeing a lot of change there. So we're going to grab that and we're going to just delete that unsharp mask. Umacorn says, high pass duplicate layer turned into a smart object. Filter other pass, high pass, adjust and change blend mode after you're done. But this is if your photo is pretty good in the first place and you just want to adjust it a little. High pass does a really good job. And I was talking about this on last stream. I was shooting a portrait shoot and it was outdoors, it was dark, and so I had to really increase the ISO. And by using the new noise reduction in Lightroom Classic, I felt the images ended up being too soft. So then I brought it into Photoshop and actually applied a high pass filter, and it does a really nice job. Okay, we are going to try another. Let's go filter, sharpen, and smart sharpen. "200% is way too much." Where's our dude's face? This is way too much sharpening. So we're going to cancel out of that. It's interesting because I'm looking at these photos and I'm like, not happy. Oh, you know what we could do? Let's remove the wires. Okay. Find distractions, wires and cables. Oh, I completely screwed that up. I should not have done this on the layer. Let's cancel. Let's turn off our background layer. Make a new layer. Sample all layers. Now, I don't know if my computer is not going to like me right now because I'm streaming. Holy cow. Vikram? Hello? Or yo? I'm happy with that. Okay. With the remove tool, let's get rid of this light up there. Very cool. Very cool. Let's get rid of this pole. I can't believe it filled in the car. So good. All right. Let's do a Command S. Let's save that. And so we've got those two. So now let's get in. Oh, we got another one. We got another one. Black car distraction. These are not my photos. I am just editing. Okay, turn this into a smart object. And let's, again, testing. Let's do a sharpen. I want the smart. I am not really the type of blur to be removed. There's Gaussian blur, lens blur, or a motion blur. What program is this about? Photoshop. Okay. Gosh, I am not happy. I think Adobe Camera Raw is going to, again, be the best bet. So, filter, Adobe Camera Raw. Oof. Oof. I mean, what is happening inside the photos? People are marching. Shawn, hello. The I believe this is Memorial Day. Is it a festival or honoring? It is honoring. Memorial Day is honoring the veterans, past veterans. Let's go ahead. I think the contrast is too much there. Bring up our blacks a little bit. Bring down our whites. Can AI perfectly clean unwanted things? I don't know. I don't know. What is that you want to clean? Bring down the clarity a bit. I mean, I guess the question is, do you want AI to do all that? Personally, I would say no. Oliver says no. Although generative erase is quite good. Yes, it is. Like in a photo, if you remove red car, will the content aware fill according to the stream, according to the scene? Not content aware fill, no. Uh, I mean, I want AI to do the dishes and cure illnesses. Yes, Sandrine, I'm with you. As an example, what we can do, making sure I've got auto used. Like if we say, okay, we want to remove this car here and making sure not, let's increase the size. Whoa, let's try that again. Command Z, bring that car back. Making sure getting the shadow. There you go. Now, the problem with you talking about the red car, if you look closely, there's a car behind the red car. So there's two vehicles there. Generate erase will try to fill according to the scene. Whether it is right or not is another question. It seems to either get it perfect or fail completely. Yeah. Now, the other thing with the new improved erase tool is up here under the mode. Okay. So you have different modes. You've got generative AI on, off, or auto. So if it's going to be doing a specific size that you're trying to remove, like what I just did removing the car, it's going to use generative AI. Otherwise, like these little small dots down here that I was clearing, that's just using the normal remove tool. So same thing, if come over here and let's get rid of like these lines. And then making sure to get rid of this one. So that's just going to be using the remove tool. That's not using Gen AI. It's probably not too long till AI will be able to see the whole car and remove it. But right now you need to go in and select a lot manually to remove it. Yes. And the other thing that you have to remember is what the purpose is. Okay. So to begin with, I'll just back up since Vikram's asking questions. I was sent very low res, small images. And so the first thing that I did is I took it into Photoshop beta and did a 2x upscale. So I increased the size. And now all I'm trying to do is make these look better. Object selection might be able to pick it out just by loosely painting over it. Yeah. Elena, hello. Good to see you. I wouldn't even try, as I think it would be hard when it's between the people. Okay, so this comes down to the point again of who is taking the photos. Like, if you start with a bad image, you can get it only so far. And especially since this is a JPEG. It's a different color though, so there's more of a chance it'll get it right. Yeah. Might get a bit of the red car. All right, let's make a new layer. You freaking people. It added the flag. It added something. I have no idea what that added. So we're getting rid of that layer. So the red car stays. Let's do Command S. It did. It did. Like it looked, what it did is it looked at the flag, probably not knowing it's a flag, looked at the flag, and it just created a shape that was matching that. What just happened? I just glitched there a little bit. Am I back? It did not like saving that image. Some kind of glitch. Okay, I won't be saving anymore. AI knows we know too much. Am I back? You are back. Thank you. Okay. So. All right. Boomcorn says yes. Good. 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 All right. So now we're inside. So we have, let's turn that into a smart object. And let's jump into camera raw. And first off, let's go into white balance. Let's grab our eyedropper. We are up here. So I've got the eyedropper. So I'm looking for a neutral color. So as I move over, you'll be able to see up here that I have oh. Okay, thank you, Oliver. Strange Steon. You have the RGBs. So you were looking for a neutral color. So you want those numbers to be close. So looking for like a shadow. Nope. Command Z. Not liking that. And again, this is JPEG, so that's getting there. Bring that back. I have no idea, Vikram. Not a clue. I'm not kidding. Ah, it's so green. I was not at this event. So I was not there. I don't know. I don't even know who took these photos. Hey, Nate. Do you try the white table or robes? Now, okay, Stian, for video, you try to use white. I should tell you in the metadata where the flash was used. It doesn't look like it. No. So if I do white, it's not going to do anything. Command Z. Because what do I got? My RGB says 248, 247, and 232. So with photography, when you're doing a white balance, you want to find 50% gray, something gray, a neutral gray. You can try to use blacks, but you want to try to use something gray. And churches don't allow flashes, right? No, you can use flashes in church, I assume. Sian says I didn't know that. Yeah. Video, when you're shooting video, you go with the white card. You're trying to balance everything to the white. Yeah. So I'm just trying to find something gray. Something gray. Ugh. So, I did not know that there is a white balance auto button. I've always used the color picker. Thank you, chat, for 100 messages sent. You can sample off-white to try the gowns and the cloths. Nope. The back of the head. Okay. I'm catching up. All right, so we just got a big boom from Elena. Thank you, Elena. That is true, Oliver. Most of the time, the images that I'm working on don't really need that much white balance done to it. So that's been there forever. I did not know. I always use the eyedropper. I do. So let's get into our light. Go ahead, do that. I'm liking that. Let's bring down our highlights. You're really clipping. Okay, bring down our contrast. It's usually terrible though. Terrible. Let's bring up our blacks a little bit. Oh, I see him now, Nate. I did not see it. You wanted a gray spot? I was thinking the guy wearing the hat, his hair seems gray. Yeah, it is gray. I could have done it right there. And I still have the eyedropper. Let's turn off the eyedropper. I just dropped in for a few minutes. Well, welcome in, Nate. Welcome in. All right. Actually, that's unfair. It does all right when an image has good range of colors that can be mashed together into a mid-gray. All right, we don't want the curve. Let's get into our details. Do a noise reduction. All right, zoom in. What I hate about white balance is that at work, we, for some reason, have the most yellow light inside and the most blue light outside. Horrible to take an image in a room with a window. Yes. It usually doesn't work for me, Oliver says, because when you mash the colors in my photos together, you usually end up with some shade of gray. Probably, yeah. Stian. So, what you want to do is you do an overall balance of the interior. And I showed this on one of my videos. So you balance the interior, and then you can actually mask the other areas that you need to balance from the different lighting. So it's time consuming, but very easily done. Okay. Okay, let's jump into our crop. Let's do that. We are going to go ahead and remove the majority of that guy right there. And again, like really, the photographer could have like taken one step over. Move your feet, move your feet. Okay, we have ads. I will be right back in a second. So please hang out. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the dance party. Devlin, hello. Oliver saying, and step back slightly so the dude on the right's feet aren't cut off, leaving us to fend for ourselves against the ads. That is true. Actually, I had to leave. Thank you, Elena. So kind. Okay, let's get back at it. All right. If I knew I was going to be in Camera Raw so much, I would be in Lightroom. Now, so much motion blur. Like the issue here with this photo, I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna send it back to him. But there's lens blur. There's motion blur. There's so much. So much. But use AI. Why would I use Illustrator? And orange covering eyes. The thing is, these images are going to be put together as a type of collage. Oh, hold on. Okay. This is enhanced. So this is actually using AI to upscale. So, all right. It, see, this is what is interesting to me. That fixes blur and shake. I went through the new reflection removal tool came out. So I went through my photos looking for reflections and I couldn't find any to actually try to use it. So I was like, oh crud, you know, how am I going to be able to do this? I don't have any photos. I think I've got some old photos I can try it on, but in general, I've avoided getting reflections either by careful angling or using a polarizer. Yes. I mean, that's kind of the point of being a photographer. Of learning how to do photography. Okay, let's do a filter. Let's do a sharpen, smart sharpen. We're going to turn this to Gaussian blur. I think things like that are mainly aimed at the snapshot market. People using Lightroom with photos from their phone. I would agree. I would agree with that. Dang, this is so much freaking sharpening. Not people who have kit to avoid getting the reflections in the first place. So, let's cancel out of that. I knew the remove distractions was coming out. I couldn't tell you about it, but I knew it was coming out, and it was the remove wires. And so I was going to be doing an Adobe Live and showing off the remove distractions. I was going to be the one introducing it to the world when it came out. And so I was going through images trying to find some, and it was difficult to find the wires. So while I was in Oregon, in this specific village, it was during Oktoberfest, and there happened to be tons and tons of wires. So I was specifically taking photos of wires so I could remove them on Adobe Live because I didn't have a lot. So it's kind of funny that you work so hard, and this is the same thing with people. Same thing with remove people. I used to try so hard to not have people in any of my photos. None. I didn't want people in any of my photos. So I used to wait and wait for people to move. You know, once I got the shot, the angle I wanted, it's hilarious now. Same my photos with wires and only my photos with wires and only have them in because it's part of the photo. Yeah. That's some rough English to read. Okay. But yeah, so I started taking photos specifically in that way. This guy looks like he's sleeping. All right. We're moving on. Like the photo is of a row of telegraph poles and birds sitting on the wires. I'm loving the distraction remove tool, as am I. I was able to reconstruct a parking lot with the new Gen I tools. Did you remove the cars? This is definitely not my normal workflow. Nate says, yep, rebuilt the windows and parking spaces, pretty much the whole space looking out through a window. Ah, nice. There's so much noise. We're going to make a new smart object. Let's go ahead and rasterize. Going to go filter other high pass. Hitting OK. Now, this is getting way too sharp. The high pass filter went over the top. So what we can do is actually come through and turn down the opacity. Look at the size of these pixels. That is massive. Stian, all of these have been upscaled. So this is the original Yes, it looks more like compression artifacting. Yeah. Um, uh, yeah, that's the original. And these were super small and low res. So I did take them into Photoshop and used that. Let's get back here. I want to try something. This is a smart object. So let's jump in here. Let's do a filter, neuro filter. And this might blow my computer up. Let's check out JPEG artifact removal. And like I said, this may blow my computer up. I may be glitchy, but please hang with me. I'm hoping. I had no idea that this was going to take 2 minutes because I've never had to do this before. Am I glitching? Am I the new max headroom? I mean, to be honest, Dion, thank you for the. I'm fine. Okay. Isn't that a Mac M4? No, I'm actually working on my 2020 Mac, my Intel. I didn't get my laptop out. I should have. And it's an M3, not an M4, but yeah. Uh I probably should. But every now and then I like just to push my machine. Give it a good workout. Hey, I use you for other things, not just streaming. Okay, 20 seconds. Oliver has an M4. Nice. I can't believe it's been, what, a year and a half since I got my laptop? Something like that. All right. It did not do anything. I don't like it. We're going to cancel. Okay, moving on. We're going to crop this. First off, get our pull straight. My old MacBook was a 2020 Intel i7, so yeah, the performance increase was quite substantial. It is. This might be a mistake. My old Mac was from 2018. That one that I'm reading chat on, well, I have chat over there too, but chat there and there. That one is a 2014. It's only for watching streams and reading chat. That is it. Hmm. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm focusing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Really? Hmm. So what do y'all have planned this weekend? Anything? What are y'all up to? Gardening maybe, depends how hot it is. Oh, it's gonna be a freaking hot one. It is gonna be hot. It looks panting. Panting. I'm just gonna enjoy the last days of vacation before I start back on Monday. Gonna be a busy week. I didn't know you were on vacation, Stian. I am not liking what we've got going on here at all. This is my third week. It's mandatory for everyone to take 3 weeks during the summer. Oh, that's a good rule. I mean, painting, always a fast typer, but don't see what I type. Okay. This 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 is so frustrating. We finally have a photo which is somewhat in focus of this gentleman. And it's such a small JPEG that if you try to do too much to it, it just you don't have the information. Vikram says, if it raw photos, can it come better than JPG? Absolutely, Vikram. Now, if it is a raw photo, can it come better than you are expecting? 100%. And this is, I say this all the time. Shoot raw, shoot raw, shoot raw. Please shoot raw. I don't care if you shoot raw and JPEG. I don't care. Whenever you are editing, if you are editing a raw image, you have so much more room to play. There's so much information, so much more. And I've heard every single excuse that there is about why people won't shoot raw. I was there. I have so many photos that looked burned out in raw and just a simple editing, and it's saved and a great image. Yes, because the information is there. Unless unless they're one of those weird people who set their cameras to use lossy compression with raw. Why would anybody do that? I don't know. I don't know. But I learned from my mistakes. When I first got into photography, I've horrible editing. Okay. I was over contrast, over saturation, what everybody does when you first start getting into editing. And I was traveling all over Europe. I've got, thousands upon thousands of photos that look like crud because I shot them in JPEG and I did destructive editing. And now if I wanted to go back and try to save them, this is the type of situation that I'm in, as I'm not able to bring it out. Like this image, it feels so dark that normally, I shoot dark. I shoot specifically dark because I know the information is there and I can bring it out. Buying a bigger SD card for my camera so I could shoot a lot of RAW was the best investment. Make sure it's fast. If you're going to use lossy compression, you might as well just shoot in JPEG. Okay. Shoot to the left, to the left. Yes. What Oliver is talking about is left of the histogram, which is your darks and shadows. All right. Okay. Let's see what we can get here. Let's see what we can get here. Boy, I am not happy. Okay. Need to cool that. Okay. I don't know if it's that fast. Haven't really tried it for continuous shooting, but it gets the job done. Regular photos. Thank you, Oliver. Deep breath. I'm just thinking what I can do. Okay, Shawn. One moment. This is a conversation worth having. I know we've had it before. We're gonna have it again. Hold on. Okay, so my camera has two slots. One slot is an XQD card, and my other slot is a standard card. This card shoots 400 megabyte writes, 400 megabytes a second. So it actually is writing to my card faster than I can take photos. Okay? My camera's SD slot interface isn't fast enough to keep up with continuous shooting. It's got a decent buffer, so it's okay. Now, the way it works and what people may or may not know is your camera has a memory in it. So what happens is you take the photos, and depending upon how large your buffer is, it takes the image and it puts it there, and then usually when you stop shooting or you pause, it will write to the SD card. And that's when on the back of your camera the red light goes on and doesn't let you do anything, when it's writing to the SD card. So this SD card is 50 megabytes a second. So this is a decent card. Now, when you get used to shooting and you never ever have to wait for your camera to write the images to your SD card, and let's say the buffer, I don't know, 6, 10 photos, whatever it is. Like, I don't even know because this camera is so fast. So what it says, Google says 190 megabits per second. It should say on your card. So I have picked up other people's cameras that don't have fast cards. And I've been taking photos, doing like headshots and stuff. And the fact that I have to wait while that little red light is on drives me crazy. So, obviously, it depends upon what you're used to. But you do, when you're purchasing a card, it's not just the size, it is also the read and write speed that you want to check out. All right, where am I? Oh, is it one of those mini SD cards? Okay. Bring that back. Up the exposure. Oh, we got a we're lurking from Helena. I'm working, so lurk. We're lurking. Let's go ahead, hit OK. Did I not crop? I didn't crop this one. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to not add a new layer, Shawn. We're going to add an adjustment layer. We want a hue and saturation adjustment layer. And we want like all I am looking at his face. So let's get this to be more specific here. To select. I'm going to grab all of him right there. We're going to go to our mask on our hue and saturation, and making sure we're black, we're going to do an option delete. And I need to invert that mask. So Command D to deselect, and just do a, how about Command I on the mask? Command I, we're going to invert that mask. We're going to jump over here, here, and why are you red? Command Z, Command Z. Why? What the heck just happened? What is, what it? What the heck just happened? Oh. Whoops. Okay. Command Shift delete. Option delete. I am why are you not working? Okay. Everything looks so freaking red. There's a website called Camera Memory Speed who benchmark cards and cameras to see where the write speed maxes out. Mine stops at about 182 megabytes a second, regardless of whether you put faster cards in. It seems to be able to take 1 or 2 raw images per second, which is more than enough for me. It's also water and radiation proofed. Super. Okay, that's feeling better to me. Now our gentleman is too green. Oh, why are you turning green when I'm going to the blues? Ah, that feels better. That still got some blood in the face, just not as red. That looks better to me. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's get back into our camera raw here. And let's get into our effects. Unfortunately, they haven't done any tests since 2018. Mine was one of the last they did. Ooh, interesting. Found my card there, but not my camera. Now he's feeling green to me. Oi. Oi. It's a Canon R10, so it's a posh lower end camera. Oh, let's get rid of that mask, delete that mask. I'm going to select our mask here. We're going to do an Alt drag up there. Then we're going to do a Command I. And okay, now I see what I'm doing here. Let's jump back into here. Okay. Green right there. Add a bit of lightness. Okay. I like that. I like that. Again, blurry. Crop. Let's try to make something straight. turn that into a smart object. I can tell you, this has not been fun for me. Not at all. Stian gave me a hydrate. What's the voice ban? I cannot speak for 3 minutes. I figured you all would find that amusing. I mean, that is, of course, if I'm playing music. Do I not have music on? Oh my gosh, are you serious? This whole time I've had the music turned off. I have enough points. General, hello there. I have enough points to redeem 5 voice bans. I apologize, everybody. I had the music turned off because it had it kind of screwed up before. You did have earlier. Wow, then something happened. I'll use it when you say you want to end the stream so you can't end it. That's funny. I would like it to be voice silence with interpretive dance. No. You can do that on your streams, Devlin. See, now that Devlin is streaming, we can just turn around and send it back on her. You can do it on yours. There was music when you started, it was quiet. And why would it have turned itself off? Do I have it here? Yeah? There's no way to turn it off on my stream deck, so I know I didn't do it there. Oh well. Let's see here. All right, so I am done with these. Now, for whatever reason, let me do this. Let me wake up. Make sure. Yeah, everything is woken up. I may glitch, so don't go anywhere, everybody, but I need to start saving these. that one's saved. That one's not saved. Okay. I think I'm okay. I didn't glitch. Okay, that one needs to be saved. Alessandra, hello. Hello, hello. So freaking noisy. Ugh. Come on. Come on. Man S. There we go. Okay. Hey, Bruce. Oh, yeah, I have anger. You have no idea. Okay, everything is saved. We are going to do a photo restoration. Since everything is saved here, I'm going to close everything out. I need to go get some water, and ads are going to start in about 2 minutes. So let's start closing these out. And again, I hope my Mac doesn't blow up with this photo restoration. But let me go ahead, get it ready to go. Okay. Okay, again, very small photo. Normally, I would take this in to Photoshop Beta. And oh, no, you don't do that. OBS. I would take this into Photoshop Beta and make it double size. Yes, it is very frustrating, Vikram. It is very frustrating. Okay, I need water. Then we're gonna come back and start working on this image. So I will be back shortly. And you know what? I am gonna open up Photoshop Beta. Let's do this properly. We're gonna do it, let's do it properly, you know? So there we go. I'll be back. Hang out, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for the dance party. Let me get things ready here really quick. And shut down one Photoshop. And for those of you that have ads right now, I'm not doing anything important yet. Oof. 11 ads for Alessandra and Bliss. An extended. Okay, I'm gonna wait. We have an extended ad break. I can wait. Is everybody back? Bruce, are you back? Alessandra, is Bliss here? I don't think I saw Bliss come in. Is anybody here? Oliver says, I'm not back. Liar. Vikram's back. Devlin says, I'm not here. Bruce says, last one. Bruce is back. I think everybody, yeah, everybody should be back. All right, so I've got this image. It is small. So there's, first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go up to image and image size. We got a holy shnikes. Bam. Thank you, Bruce. Okay, so we go to image size, and down here at the bottom, you can see it's 1200 by 1800, and we've got open in generative upscale. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We are gonna do a 2000. There is a maximum. If I try to do more, if I do a ×3, oh, Penny is streaming. Okay. If it's saying, hey, you can't do it, it exceeds the limit. So we're going to just do 2 times, and we're going to upscale. We're going to let it upscale and do its thing. Okay, Command 0, and you can see our title over here. We've got upscale, 2 times upscale right there. And that is good. Next off, what I'm going to do is we're going to, yeah, we'll turn it into a smart object. And let's go into our Neuro filters. So if we go Neuro filters, let that load. We have photo restoration down here at the bottom. So we're going to turn that on, and I'm glitching. Okay, I should be back. We have photo enhancement, enhance face, and scratch reduction. Now, it has done too much to the face, I think. So let's bring that down to maybe 40. I think that's getting there. Okay, so I got that down turned to 30. Photo enhancements, we can leave it at that. We have scratch adjustments. I'm not worried about the scratch reduction because we don't really have those kind of scratches. We have bends, which the remove tool is going to be wonderful on that. If we do a noise reduction, see what we get out of this. Not a lot, so let's turn that off. JPEG artifacts. And 4 seconds, one. Nope, let's turn that off. We've got halftone artifacts. I think we're good. We're good with that. So output to a smart filter, we're gonna hit OK. And next off, let's do some cleanup. So I am going to make a new layer. We're gonna jump over to the remove tool, and we're gonna make sure that we have sample all layers. Let's go ahead and move this over here, zoom in a bit, and let's just go ahead, start doing a little bit of cleanup. And we want to, hitting OK, clean up the hat. I sent one already long ago. You could try that too. I'm working on this one, Vikram, because it's my family. My family has a slight priority over you. Slight. Now, obviously, I know. Drop it and do the other one. No. Okay, so let's deal with these scratches. So let's make our brush a little bit bigger. Or bends, not scratches. Now that I don't like when it does that. Do not. So let's do it in pieces. Nice. And the one thing that I do find a little interesting, like the texture that is occurring on this image, you know, it's not a fan. But also once you start trying to remove it, kind of takes away a little bit of the depth from the image. Ooh. Clean this whole bottom. Okay, Command 0. Oh, let's move that over there. Here's the before, the after, just a little bit of cleanup. Now, from this point on, there's a whole lot of things that we could do. We could do like frequency separation, trying to maybe smooth out the jacket. We could use a lot of different tools. You should consider a stylist to do this precise selection, although only Imperial Stormtroopers are so precise. I got my stylus right here. I'm not using it. Some of these big ones I think we can get rid of. This is from 1965? I think I'm okay with that. Now, just to show you what the possibilities are, if I end up, let's turn off our background layer. Let's grab both of these. Let's turn it into a smart object. And if we go into our action panel, we've got, not our history, how about our commands? 8-bit frequency separation. This is from Flern. Time to blur the skin texture, adjust the radius until you can't see any skin texture. So we can just go ahead, hit confirm, and I am looking not at the skin, but really I'm looking at the jacket. So I like that right there. We can hit OK. Done. Now the skin texture and colors are on different layers. To work on skin texture, choose the Learn frequency separation, high frequency, and use a clone stamp for healing. To work on the skin color, choose the Learn frequency separation and use the clone stamp healing. So the way that it's broken up, we can hit continue. Let's close our actions down. Let's open up here, and we've got our high frequency and our low frequency. So as you can see, this is going to be our details. So if we want to rename this our details, Or we can jump in here and call this our color. So what you want to do is there's a couple different ways to do this. Now, if we jump in and I'm like, okay, all I'm really worried about is the jacket. So we could come in here, we could grab the mixer brush and let's set this to maybe 10. Our load, let's maybe take this up to about 70, 75. Mix, we could do that at 10, or we could do 15. Let's do 15, not 115. 15 for our mix, and our flow, maybe we'll start with about 65. Now, we do not want, cancel. We don't want to pick up the color. So we've got that set for here. Now, this is something that you definitely want to use a stylus for. So if I come in and just start painting, now that's getting pretty ugly. Command Z. Let's see. Nope. Command Z. So the mixer brush is not really doing what I want it to do. Command C, Command Z. I have the settings wrong? I must have the settings wrong. Clean brush after each stroke. Don't need the smoothing. Oh, sample all layers, I think is what I had. I am gonna grab my stylus for this. See what you did, General? You made me get my stylus out. Let's ignore that. Okay. That is not what got going. There we go. We're trying to mix the details. So as you can see, as I'm going around, this is going to take a long time to do all of this. And the one thing that I don't like about it is it's creating kind of a flat image, which I'm not a fan of. Now, I've done this in the past on certain clothing, legs, to get rid of wrinkles. It works okay. Actually, it works really well. It's just a very time-consuming job. Check your relative contrast. The darkest dark should be down towards your edges. Third floor draft, hello. Darkest darks. no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so we're just gonna come through, and I don't want to lose all the texture, so I'm being a little gentle with the mixing brush. I like a little bit of the texture. If we had some big sections through here, go ahead and just mark this up. And again, you don't really want to turn this 100% flat. Look at the darkest part of your image and make sure you include some of those values to keep the depth reading on the edges. This is a freaking old image. I'm not too concerned about it because we're going to be jumping into colorization. So I've had to go through and use the AI generative upscale in the Photoshop beta because it's such a small image. Okay. This is when you kind of wish you had a fast forward button, especially for you, chat. Oh no, that was the settings. That was operator error on my part. That was the settings of the on the mixer brush. That was my fault. Okay. So if you start going and you're working with the frequency separation, go ahead, bring it back and forth, turn that whole group off and on, just to kind of take a look at what it is that you're getting, you're liking it. If you need to make any changes to your brush, make sure. And it's also sometimes nice to do that just to know that you're actually doing something. Because some of this stuff can be so subtle, you're not even sure what you're doing. If you colorize, will some areas look blurred? We'll find out. Once I get going or further along, and I'm watching the time, because I don't have all day. I'm gonna be live soon with Jack on the Firefly Discord. I hope we're not doing sound again. I'm hoping. So just knocking this out really quick. All right, so I would continue working on this and let's do a Command 0, and trying to smooth out But you can see that we're getting someplace. We're smoothing out that texture that's on the jacket. I would do the same thing on the hat, and maybe the background, maybe not. I don't know. But it's time consuming, and that would take a great deal of time. So with that, let's go ahead. I'm gonna grab both layers, and we'll join the Firefly Discords. You guys did sound yesterday. Yes, we did. We did. Oh, hold on. Scared me and my cat. Okay, so the first one that I did that was a riff wanted a Money for Nothing Dire Straits. So did that one, then we did this one. And then that one. And then chat continued playing along with us. So let's get back into Photoshop. I want my MTV. All right, so we've got these two. We've got the group and we have the main image. We're gonna turn that into a smart object really quick. Let's go up to filter, Neuro filter. And we're gonna jump into the colorize. So we're gonna hit that and boom, that's what we've got. Now, this is not the correct colors. So if you want to, first off, let's select the hat and we need like a dark green, something like that. And I can grab these dots and I can move them around, and then I can hold Alt Option and make copies to make sure that we've got that edge. I can continue working here on the jacket and adding those points, making sure that we get that green. Then if we want to make sure that we get that white, okay, did it automatically, thank you for that. Same thing here. Let's look up at the top. That is good. Maybe we want to go more white. Yeah, that's looking better. That's looking better. The eye color is wrong. So if you need to remove a dot, you can select it and click the remove tool right there. If I say, okay, let's put one. Right there, and let's grab some green. Now, this is where it gets funky, okay? So I did a green, she's got green eyes. So at this point, this is when I would use any of the new selection tools and colorize, where you can select the pupils and color it. So we need to get rid of that. So we just hit remove, boop, and we get it back. We've got our adjustments down here that we can go through and say, okay, you know, we want to change the color up. We want to do this, we want to do that. And you've got all of your strengths presets. I'm not a big fan of the presets, so I use none. We've got color artifact reduction and noise reduction. We bring that over a little bit, and then didn't really do a lot. So we can just keep that down. We've got output as a new color layer. So This is not bad. This is not bad. I think I don't like the pink in her hair. And we don't want gray. That might be too yellow. You know, those platinum dyes back in the day. It's too gray. That looks better. Okay, holding down Option again, we're going to grab that one. We're going to bring it over here to that hair. And there we go. We've colorized the photo. So we started, let me go ahead. We've got this output as a smart filter. We started with this. We were able to gen extend it, supersize it, upscale, generative upscale. I'll get it right. We were able to take a small image, use generative upscale, double the size of it, then doing the basic cleanup with the remove tool, which is so freaking good. You know, yeah, just it works so well. But using the neuro filter for restore a photo, that did a great job, especially on the face. Does a really nice job. Then we were able to clean it up with the remove tool, super easy. And then we were able to actually jump in and colorize. So we started with this. We got that. Pretty cool. Now, I sent this to the person who it is, and she was ecstatic. First question, or first thing she said was, "What color are my eyes?" I'm like, look, this was quick. Sorry. But then other than that, she absolutely loved it. She thought it was cool as heck because obviously she's never seen her image colorized. So, like I said, it was from 1965, I think. I did have to do research in the U.S. Army women's uniforms to figure out the correct color, because initially I was thinking it was going to be blue, like the Air Force. And so I had to do research and actually find a colored image, and I was able to find a retailer that was selling vintage uniforms. And so I could find that it was this green. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, all right. I think for now, I may be done. Unless, chat, do you have any questions? Anything that we need to go over? Because I'm done with my work. Can I ask a Twitch question? Of course. Of course, of course. You can ask anything. And that means for you too, Devlin. I've got Twitch. Bam, right there. And OBS. Can change skin tone color. Yeah, just the exact same way I changed everything. Can you show me how to use your Amazon sub? When you... Okay, so on my stream right now, there is a subscribe button. So when you click on that, it will have a series of information like how much it costs and all this. At the very bottom, it will say, use your Amazon Prime sub. And then you can just click on that and it will use your Prime. But it's at the bottom. They don't make it easy to find. Hopefully that helps, Bruce. I've never been able to get Amazon to work on Twitch at all. I do. You have to sign up for it. It's not there on mobile, Oliver is saying. You have to use a website on desktop. I signed up a while ago. Yeah. All right. Any more questions? You're coming close to time. It never accepts my info, runs me in circles. That sucks, Devlin. Vikram, it's probably the new challenge is probably going to happen in November because I'm going to Max. So I don't want to start a challenge and then be gone for like 3 weeks. Okay. All right, everybody. Jack and I are going to be live in 2 hours on the Firefly Discord. Not sure what we're working on today. If it says that we're going to be working on sound, I don't think we're going to be working on sound. But that's kind of all the announcements that I have. Make sure to check out all the other streamers this weekend and tomorrow. There are Adobe Lives today, and I think that's all I got. So thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate you spending your time with me. Everybody, stay creative, be safe, and just be nice. I will see you all in chat later. Bye, everyone.